Okay, I'm recording this to show how to use a whiteboard when you're meeting with students in Zoom. So behind my pop-up where the Zoom is showing, I have my Zoom window somewhere. I'm not sure where it is, but I've launched my personal meeting from the personal meeting room. And I have one participant, my lovely teddy bear. I'm going to share my screen, and it gives me some choices. One of the choices is a whiteboard. So when I click share, that whiteboard appears, and it's what the kids are seeing. Now, the hard part for me is if I was going to use a whiteboard, I would run my Zoom from my iPad. Or I would sign into the meeting twice and have my computer as the screen where I see students and what they're doing, but have the video pinned at different points to the board that the students are going to see. I can definitely draw on here, but I'm not such a great person at drawing with my mouse. So if I click draw, I have some tools like I can make a straight line. I can make crooked lines. I can change the color, all kinds of other things. So if you haven't used the whiteboard with your Zoom lessons, you might want to do that. I can also type whatever I want to type, titles and other things, and it would be the color there. And I can save what I've drawn as a picture into a folder. And it tells me where it's at. This happens to be, I'm not sure where it's going, but I could find it. I could rename it possibly right here. Oh, it's in my personal meeting room folder. So I must have a folder I didn't know about because this is my first drawing that I've saved. So hopefully that's helpful to show how to use a whiteboard. So I am going to stop sharing my screen, and I want to do a stop sharing. There it is. Okay, so I'm back, and I would hopefully, since I don't have my video on, the kids aren't seeing anything, but if I had my video on, they would see me, and I can pin myself instead of letting the student be the main window. It would stay aiming at myself for whatever I'm going to do, counting the kindergarten way, which I can't do. But then I can also annotate. If I share my screen and I have something on the page that I want to show them, maybe I'm going to pull this up and I want to draw on top of whatever is on the screen. One of the options is to annotate. So the image, the background image stays with what's there, but then I have the possibility of drawing or highlighting or underlining or spotlighting different things. I can erase whatever, but this, if you do annotate, it goes on top of whatever the image is that's there. So if you had a page that was something like in my training class, and I want to talk about this graph that I've actually started and it's saved in my Seesaw account, I could annotate on top of it and possibly talk about what if I had 10 mysteries? How would I make a box that shows I had 10 mysteries in my reading collection? And I could draw a line as I'm teaching. I could also use gotta get my mouse. Could switch to something else, and now the annotation is still there, so if I switch to something, I'd have to erase it. If I wanted to talk about where to find my Zoom link or where to find my weekly checklist, it can come up and I can do some stamps. Like I could actually stamp different things. On my weekly checklist, if I get myself out of the way, on one of these slides at the end, I could talk with them about how I want them to take one of these stars, or their parents to take one of these stars and grade the student's behavior at home. But since this is in Google Slides and I've saved it as published to the web, I can't click on this red star and drag it down here. But in Annotate, I could stamp a star. It's not very big, but I can stamp it. I could draw or color or fill in the star. If it's supposed to be red, I could be coloring it in. Whoops, I got to get off of stamp and get back to draw. Now this time I can color it in, so that what their parent would do is each day, based on this chart, decide what kind of behavior that student had. How did they act? Also, at the end of the week, the student in my weekly checklist is supposed to type in their own thoughts, provide thoughts and feelings about how things went with your schoolwork this week. The parent is also supposed to provide some feedback on that page. So we could talk about how the parent would say, Jimmy's been doing a great job. And of course, they're going to be doing this in the slides that are editable that I shared with them, that each student has a copy of. So the teacher is getting feedback from their parent or learning coach at home or in daycare to talk about how the day went. Hopefully, this is helpful. Appreciate your time.